Today's video is big because it's all about Games Workshop. We've just had their yearly half financial report released, and there is some very, very interesting things in there. We're going to go through some of the main points to stand out in the, maybe the video title is the Amazon deal has not actually been signed. It's only been agreed in principle. So nothing has been officially signed at this point. Yes, they had the big announcement, but no pen to paper. So let's jump in and let's go through all of this madness. Now, let's start, of course, with the big Amazon talk, because for me, this is the thing that I'm mostly looking forward to. This is where all my hype is being aimed at. You know, the possibility of Henry Cavill, 40K films, TV shows, you know, bigger, more amazing, more animations. So I'm going to put the blurb of text in the background now so you can read along from it. This is taken straight from the document. By the way, if you want to read this document yourself, there's a link to it in the description of the video. So under the media heading, it says, "We have not signed any contracts in the period reported. We have agreed in principle to explore opportunities to exploit our IP with Amazon Studios. We announced this in December 2022. That, of course, was the big announcement that we got with, Henry Cavill announcing it on his Instagram and, all the social media platforms that exploded. Sorry, where was he up to? We announced this in December 22 after the half-year period. We have nothing more to say at this stage. We will keep you informed. We remain confident we will bring the world of Warhammer to screens like you've never seen before." Now, for me, I personally thought everything has been signed. I thought there was a contract in place with Amazon. Agreeing in principle is kind of agreeing it's done. It's kind of like a handshake, but the handshake is, of course, is not a binding contract or anything like that. It's when you put the pen to paper. That is when it's all written down, and that is when thing is 100% happening, and everyone's put their money in and everything like that. But that's what we don't have at this moment in time. So potentially there is still some. I won't say doubt, but there's still anything can happen. Anything can happen, which this may all fall apart. I don't think it will. I really, really don't think it will. I think Henry's thrown his weight into the ring. Amazon's thrown their weight into the ring. Games Workshop have thrown their weight into the ring. They're probably just coming to the agreement now of said contract before they start putting that pen to paper. But I just want to share that with you because I know a lot of people, again, myself included, thought the contracts had been signed and, production is already beginning, ideas or stories are already beginning. But it won't be because, again, nothing has been signed at this point. Now, just before we move on from this subject, I just want to tack on this last piece of information. That's all about the IP and them exploring the IP and keeping it true to the law. Because I know there's been debates, there's been discussions, there's been concerns about, Amazon linking up with Games Workshop. Is the law going to change? People are scared. Now, there's a certain bit in this document, again, I'll put it in the background so you can read along with it, and it states, it is imperative that the exploitation of our IP through media channels does not harm our core business and ensure that any representation of our IP is aligned to our IP guidelines and is approved, correct, and consistent. They are fully supported by our in-house legal team who will act when needed. Now, to me, this is why I'm tacking it on to the end of this TV show. Games Workshop, of course, don't want their IP to be taken out of context. They don't want stuff to change. I think most of us know, Games Workshop are very, very protective of their IP. So if they do a Space Marine, I don't think you're going to see a Space Marine change in any way. If they do the Eisenhorn novels and stuff, you're not going to get a lot of changes from what it's going to be. That's the way I'm looking at it. Maybe I'm taking it the wrong way. If you've got any thoughts and feedback on that, let me know down in the comment section down below. But for me, I think that is addressing some of the core concerns which people were having with this potential deal. Now, moving on to another subject is Warhammer Plus. This is one of the biggest talking points in the community, well, it has been with me anyway, because I've always wanted to know what type of revenue they've been bringing in. I wanted to know like how many people have been subscribed to Warhammer Plus. I want to know if it's a success or not. Do they see it as a success? And now, for the first time, we actually have official numbers. So again, I'm going to put it up in the background so you can read it for yourself as I read along with it. So it says, Warhammer Plus launched in August 2021. It comes to delight and entertain a growing subscriber base. Warhammer Plus shows and animations have now been viewed over 5 million times. Now, I'm sure that's pretty decent numbers, but if you compare that to some YouTube channels, I'm pretty sure those numbers are quite low, really, when you put it into the broader stuff. Like if you look like channels like Luton and stuff like that, he's raking in the views, and he's making, amazing lore and stuff. You've got Major Kill and stuff with his lore, Voldemort and stuff. I'm sure there's back rep channels that are, having more than 5 million plus views and stuff on a monthly basis and everything like that. Maybe I'm going a bit too far with the back reps, but definitely I know like lore channels are like the main audience for Warhammer fans for viewership. Moving on, it says revenue is 3 million in the period. Associated development cost 2.4 million. So if I'm reading that right, they spent 2.4 million worth of money on it, and they've earned £3 million back. So it is in a profit. Now, from what I was told by a secret source, they said that they don't mind operating at a loss for the first 3 years. They actually expected a loss for the first 3 years of Warhammer Plus, because building that back catalogue up and getting all that stuff there for people then to subscribe and start watching it, and as I said, building the catalogue up. So it looks like they actually have made a profit, again, if I'm reading that correctly. And then the last bit of it, it says our subscriber numbers are 115,000. Now, I'm not sure if that's since its launch, like everyone who's bought one, and they've just added that number up, because I know people who have bought a month's worth and then stopped it after a month. I don't know if that is the current subscriber count now. Like they have 115,000 people right here, right now, during the month of, well, I'm recording this in January. It doesn't make that clear. But again, 115,000 paying subscribers. I see that kind of a win. To be fair, you've got 115,000 people. Again, if it's current right now in January, all paying at least £5 a month. Some people would have bought like annually for the year and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that is pretty decent. I probably expected more. I think it is on a bit of the low side, but it's still a lot of money going to them. For me, I don't know why I expected like 150,000, somewhere like in the upper hundreds of thousands. I know a lot of people have been speaking about this, saying they were surprised about that number. They thought it would be like 50,000 to 80,000 and stuff. But I've always said to myself, it's at least 100,000 with the amount of people that we have playing Warhammer in the world. At least 100,000 people are going to be on board with that. Look at my channel. My channel has 174,000 subscribers at this moment in time. Again, that's not paying people. There's a majority of people who are members of my channel, but it's not 115,000 paying people. So I think that, and I think Games Workshop will see that as a success at this point. Now, for the last part of this video, I just want to quickly go through some bullet points. This was done by a chap over on Bolt and Chainsaw called 2Pounder. I've just been sent this as I've been editing this video, so I'm going to include the link to that post so you can go and thank this chap, thumb him up and stuff like that if you're a member of Bolt and Chainsaw. So yeah, he's basically bullet pointed it all down. So if you want like the general summary of some of the big talking points, this is this part of the video. So it says here, the headline is Russia only brought in about £2 million annually and is now listed as lost revenue. Of course, the situation with Russia, Ukraine, and Games Workshop cut, all ties to Russia. That's why it is now operating at a lost revenue. Next point, it says Horus Heresy is considered to be successful and sold well, which I definitely agree with. Every friend who I know in person bought at least one Horus Heresy box set. So yeah, for me, I think it was a big success for them. Their revenue has increased by 10.9%, basically nearly 11%. The revenue has increased, even though they've gone through, as some would say, a bit of a crisis at the moment with, you can say with some of the stuff that's going on in the world. New web store in the summer of 2023. It says in brackets, if they make the new deadline. So there's a deadline in place. So hopefully by the end of this year, hopefully by the end of this year, yeah, we will have a new web store. Hopefully it looks pretty. New systems / processes in North America. It's got in brackets Memphis to increase logistical efficiency. So maybe, I don't know, is that like a new factory or something? I'm not too sure. Speaking about new factories and new warehouses and stuff, new warehouse to service the UK and Europe is now open with all accounts switched by spring 2023. Warehousing is, I think it's saying here the warehousing cost about £12.2 million. They've added 8 new injection machines for plastic. That means more Space Marines, of course. New factory dedicated to producing paint. Now, a lot of people don't know this. So Games Workshop used to get their paint made by another company, and now they're actually making their own paint. And the paint, I think that they used to get it from is from a company called, who make Colourforge. This is why Colourforge have like branded all their spray paints now as like different names and stuff, and it's basically matching GW paints. Again, big shout out to Colourforge. They are an amazing company and make amazing prime cans. Go and check them out online. Still having, it says they're still having significant issues with the IT infrastructure. Acknowledged a spike in the customer service requests due to delayed orders. The Warhammer community site has 100,000 daily hits, which is good, but also bad in a way. And the reason why I say it's bad in a way, because the Warhammer community website basically killed Warhammer, is it called vloggers or like bloggers? Not vloggers. Vloggers is video. Bloggers. I knew a lot of blog websites when I was first getting into Warhammer, and you don't really see them anymore because the way that Warhammer community is. It has its advantages, but it also has its disadvantages for me. Again, that's just my personal opinion. 1.9 million estimated subscribers across all social media types. So that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. 1.9 million, basically 2 million. My Warhammer has about 718,000 accounts. So that's when you buy stuff, and My Warhammer TV and everything like that. Just under 1 million email subscribers. It says here considered one of their strongest marketing tools. Apparently, total capital investment of 5.1 million. So they've invested just over 5 million in tools, facilities, equipment, warehousing, and IT equipment. It says here below it, emphasizing focus on third-party licensing. I don't know what that is. Can anyone explain that to me in the comment section? Below that, it says no contract with Amazon, which we've actually already discussed. It's noted that Darktide was a particular launch of note in relation to revenue. Again, I think Darktide have a pretty successful launch. Hopefully, they will start releasing more content for that game in terms of new foes to kill and new levels. That's one of my main complaints about that game at this moment in time. Now we do have a decrease in licensing revenue by 5.8 million, nearly 6 million. It's decreased by to 14.3 million. It says here that's about a 25% loss. They appear to use guaranteed income and then adjust for actual performance. I think that's £2 opinion on that, if I'm not mistaken. The next bullet point is 83% of license revenue comes from PC games. Okay, that's new. I thought it would be for mobile games. No, 7% comes from mobile and 10% comes from other. And that's basically it. That's some of the the main points in that half year revenue report. I'm just going to leave the video there because there's nothing really more to talk about. I would love to get your thoughts and feedback on this. Is it good? Is it bad? Is there anything that stands out to you? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Again, check the links out in the description of this video. Go and thank the people who have done the write-ups and all that type of stuff. See ya. Have a great day, and bye-bye.